Welcome, and of course, we will start with our bracha. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu, Melech HaOlam, Asher Kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah.
Amen.
And as we have seen, and as we will see, Rashi is doing his best to sort of analyze what's going on. So, Lauren, I see that Golda hasn't joined us yet and may not be. Can you check those other numbers in chapter 1 for us then, so that I can write them in? Are you able to do that?
Well, I have to
Yeah.
go either
Okay.
get a book or go
Yeah.
off the
Okay.
Chabad page that I'm using, and or whatever.
So maybe if Judith can't do it, I'll go get my Tanakh. Judith, are you able to do it? Okay. See what I can do. All right. So we're on to the children of Yissachar, Bnei Yissachar.
What verse?
23. So it's chapter 26, verse 23. Bnei Yissachar, the children of Yissachar, lemishpachotam, according to their families. Tola, mishpachat hatola'i, lepuva, mishpachat hapuni. So just simply these names, right? Tola, the Tolaites, and Puva, the Punites. Let's make sure. Okay, I think we have nothing till 24. There we go. The next, Leyashuv Mishpachat Hayashuvi, the Yashuvites. Shimron Mishpachat Hashimroni, the family of Shimronites. Give me, oh gosh. Oh, I'm sorry. That happened. There we go. Give me a moment, please. I'm just. So let's take a look at 24. The Yishuv. So there he is. Yashuv, excuse me. Yashuv. So he says, Hu Yov. He is Job. This is, I don't think this is Job, all right? But at any rate, because his name, Job in the book, right, whose book is named after him, is known as Eov. And he is simply saying that there's somebody by the name of Yov, Ha'amur beyordei Mitzrayim, who is mentioned among those who came down to Egypt with Jacob. Ki kol hamishpachot nikra'u al shem yordei Mitzrayim, because he says that all the families that are mentioned here are named after the families that came down to Egypt with Jacob. V'halnodin misham v'hala. There will be exceptions. I'm going to warn you right now, right? But those who were born from there and further, in other words, if first of all, Jacob didn't have any more children, but let's say one of the tribes, Reuben, one of those sons, had more children after he got to Egypt, they would not count in this counting, right? Lo nikra'u hamishpachot al shmam. The families are not named by their names. They're not called after their names. And now he gives you the exceptions. Chutz mi mishpachot Ephraim and Menashe, with the exception of Ephraim and Menashe, who count, of course, as two tribes, shel nodu kulam b'Mitzrayim, because, of course, they were born completely in Egypt, which he's going to mean that that they were conceived in Egypt, they were born in Egypt. Ard v'Naaman. So there are two sons now. Now he's going to go into some more subtle exceptions. Ard v'Naaman b'nei Bela ben Binyamin. Okay, and he's saying also another two are Ard and Naaman, who were the children of Bela, the son of Benjamin, who are counted as well. So he says, Umatsati biyasodo shel Rabbi Moshe HaDarshan. So this is a teacher of Rashi's, perhaps a book that he had gotten hold of. I found in the principles of Rabbi Moshe the preacher. So he's gotten some possibly original interpretations from this Rabbi Moshe HaDarshan. Sheyarda iman lemitzrayim, that their mother, that is Ard and Naaman, okay, came down to Egypt, keshahaita me'uberet mehem, when she was actually pregnant with them. So when she came down to Egypt, she was pregnant. And so, of course, that means they were conceived in the land of Canaan, the land of Israel. And so they are counted. Lachach nechlaku lemishpachot. That's why they are also distinct families. Kechetzron v'chamul, just like Chetzron and Chamul, shehayu b'nei banim leHuda, who were Judah's grandchildren. The Chever u'Malkiem, and likewise Chever and Malkiem, shehayu b'nei banim shel Asher. So Chever and Malkiel were the grandchildren of Asher. So what Rashi is saying is that their mothers were all pregnant when they came down to Egypt, and that's why they are counted, even though they were born in Egypt. The Im Agadahi, and if this is simply an Agadah, a legend, Haretov, it's a good Agadah. The Im Love, but if it isn't, Omer Ani, I would like to explain, Shahayu Lavela, that the reason for these people who were born in Egypt being counted separately, okay, that Hayu Lavela B'nei Banim Harbe, that Bela had many, many children. His was a very, very large family. O Mishanim Halalu, I'm sorry, let's see. Sorry, maybe saying Mishnayim Halala. And from these two families, Ard v'Naaman, okay, Ard and Naaman, Yatsa Mikol Echad, each, even though he had other children, right? Nevertheless, there were other grandchildren, but nevertheless, Yatsa Mikol Echad Mishpacha Rabbah, that Ard and Naaman both had very, very large families. V'nikra'u toldot she'ar banim. So that's why they are given that distinction of being counted as separate families. This is Rashi's explanation, that their families were very, very large and much larger than any other of their siblings. V'nikru toldot she'ar banim. Okay. However, the generations of the other children, al shem Bela, they were considered part of Bela's family. The Toldot Hashnaim Halalu, but the generations of these two, Nikru'u al Shmam, were each given a connection to either Ard and Naaman. V'chein ani omer, and likewise, I would hold bivnei Makir, regarding the children of Machir, shenechlaku l'shtei mishpachot, who was so his offspring were divided into two families. Achat nikret al shmo, one named by on Machir, v'achat nikret al shem Gilad bo, and another family that is named after his son Gilad, that is Machir's son Gilad. Chamesh mishpachot. Now, so that's why, because they were unusually large families, and consequently then were considered a separate group. Chamesh mishpachot chasru mibanav shel Binyamin. 5 families are missing from the offspring of Benjamin. He had 10 sons. 5 of them are missing. They're not mentioned here. Okay, Kan, Nitkaima. And in this particular case, Nitkaima miktzat nevuat imo, in the prophecy of his mother, Benjamin's mother, was fulfilled to a certain extent. Shekar ato, because she named him when he was born, Ben Oni. She named him son of my sorrow. Ben Aninuti, son of my mourning. Okay, so that's part of it. That's where 5 of them became extinct. Uvefilegesh Begiva, in the story of the concubine of Gibeah, which is a story found in Judges, and it's a terrible, terrible story. It really is, where some people of Benjamin basically raped this concubine, and the Israelites were so shocked about this that they had a war with the Benjaminites, okay, and killed a lot of them. You have to go back and into Judges and find the story. I don't have the chapter offhand. Nitkaima was fulfilled. Kula, the rest of that prophecy, because almost the entire tribe was wiped out. And as a result, they had the situation where they had to basically restock the tribe. And again, how they did that, again, is in that story in Judges. Zo matzati be'isodo shel Rabbi Moshe Hadashan. And I found this too in the principles or the foundations or the of Rabbi Moshe Hadarshan. So again, in this sort of in this listing, the simple listing, there's all kinds of stuff that's actually buried within it, underneath the text. Let me just take care of that. Eila mishpachot Yisachar. Okay, so let's see. Okay, these are the families of Yisachar, Livkudehem, according to their mustering, their counting. Arba'a v'shishim elef. So let me put in the total there. That is 64,000. Let's find where the little text thing is. I'll do it one more time. Let's see if I can see it. There it is. 64,000. 300. And I need to go back and see what Yisachar was before. And Numbers 1, chapter 1. Take me a moment. They increased. 54,400 is the number there. So Issachar increased in size. Bnei Zevulun, the children of Zevulun. Let me make sure again. I'm pretty sure I covered everything. Yeah. Okay.
No Rashi till 36.
Okay, thank you. Bnei Zevulun, the children of Zebulun, the mishpachotam, according to their families, the Sered mishpachat hasardi, the Elon mishpachat haeloni, the Yachlael mishpachat hayachlaeli. So these families are the names of the children who came down with Jacob to Egypt, right? Ela mishpachot hazvuluni livkudehem. These are the families of Zevulun according to their counting, their mustering. Shishim elef. So let me take care of that. Let's see what I can do here. Shishim elef, which would be 60,000. Shishim elef v'chamesh ma'ot, 500. Do this. And check the numbers of Zebulon. One moment. Let's see. Zebulon. 57,4. Again, an increase. Just want to make sure I have the correct number. Very good. Let's go into 28 now. Ne Yosef. So now we're talking about the descendants of Joseph, the Mishpachotam, according to their families, Menashe ve'Ephraim. So we have, of course, Menashe ve'Ephraim. They each constitute their own tribe. Bnei Menashe, so the children of the descendants of Menashe, Lemacher Mishpachatam Machiri. So we had Machir, Umachir holid et Gilad, and we're told Machir sired Gilad, begat Gilad, the Gilad Mishpachat Giladi. And we see, just like Rashi was explaining a moment ago, all right, that we have the family of the Giladites. We should have Ele b'nei Gilad, and now we have the children of Gilad, Ezer Mishpachat Ezri. We have the family of the Ezrites, the Chelek Mishpachat HaChelki, and this Chelek is the family of the Chelkites. The Asriel Mishpachat HaAsrieli. So you can see Machir indeed had a huge family. The Asriel Mishpachat HaAsrieli, the Asrielites. The Shechem Mishpachat HaShichmi, the Shichmites. Ushmida Mishpachat HaShmidai. Wow. And Shmida, the family of Shmida, the Chefer Mishpachat HaChefri, and Chefer, the family of the Chefrites. So make sure if we've got right. Okay, just making sure we've got all of this. Utzlofchad ben Chefer, and Slofchad, the son of Chefer, lo hayu lo vanim. He did not have sons. Ki im banot, he only had daughters. V'shem benot Tzlofchad, and the names of the daughters of Tzlofchad were Machla, Noah, Chogla, Milka, V'Tirza. That's 5 are named. Okay. Ele Mishpachot Menashe. These are the families of Menashe. Ufkudehem, and now we have their numbers, their tally. That in there. Excuse me one moment. Shnayim v'chamishim elef, that's 52,000. Ushvama 700.
So did the tally, I assume, does not include the females, so why do they mention their names?
Well, because we have an incident that happens, I think it may have been mentioned in last week's Sedra, where they come and tell Moses, does that mean our father shouldn't have?
Oh, the daughters of Slochad, yeah, okay.
So of course they do get counted. So let's take a look. If we're on Menashe. So the descendants of Menashe, 32,200. A major increase.
Where do you see 32,200?
Okay, I'm looking at Numbers chapter 1. And
the original numbers. Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right. I'm comparing to the first census. So look at that. Boy, 20,000 more. That's
who's 5 females.
That's right. And their descendants as well, by the way, and their children, assuming they were married. Ele b'nei Ephraim, these are the children of Ephraim, the Mishpachotam, according to their families. The Shutelach Mishpachat HaShutalchi, the Shutalchites. The Vecher Mishpachat HaBachri, Vecher, the Bachrites. The Tachan Mishpachat HaTachani. The Ele b'nei Shutalach, the Eran Mishpachat HaErani. The children of, this is a great-grandchildren right now, or grandchildren. Okay, and this is where he has the Ele b'nei Shutalach. Sha'ar b'nei Shutelach, the remaining children of Shutelach, Nikrutu toldotehem or Shem Shutelach. So it's only on Aaron, I think it is right. Aaron, his family are given a separate identity, whereas the rest of the children of Shutelach were all named after as part of Shutelach's family. Ume Aaron Yatzah Mishpachat Rabbah, and from Aaron there was a very large family, the Nikret al Shmo, and they were called after him. They were assigned to him. The Nechshavu b'nei Shutelach, and the children of Shutelach were divided lishtei mishpachot into two families. Tzei v'chashov. If you go and you calculate the timtza and you find out the Parsha zo, in this particular Parsha, chamishim u'sheva mishpachot, 75 families, 57 families, mibnei Levi, from the children of Levi. Shmona, no, sorry, 57 families from this Parsha. Umibnei Levi, but from the descendants of Levi, Shmona, 8. Hare Shishim v'chamesh. And of course, if you add 57 and 8, you get 65. Shishim v'chamesh. Vezehu shenemar, and this is referenced b'dvarim in Deuteronomy chapter 7. Ki atem hame'at, the gomer, and it says, for you are very small, etc. Hey ma'at, right? So he's saying, hey ma'at, chamisha. So ha ma'at, the hey of hama'at, is 5. Atem chaserim mi mishpachot kol ha'amim. So in other words, the fact that there are 65, there's 65 less than the entire number of families of the earth, which is 70. Remember, we talked about the 70.
Yeah, it says five less.
Yes, correct. So they come to, so the ha ma'at. Yeah. So you're 5 less than the 70 families. Kol hamim, of all the nations, shehem shivim, which add up to 70. Af ze hevanti, and this too I understood. Mi yesodei shel Rabbi Moshe Hadarshan, of your Rabbi Moshe the preacher. Ach hutzrachti lefachot ulehosif bedvarav. However, I needed to, basically saying I had to edit his words. In other words, I had to both reduce and add to his words. In other words, I'm not quoting, Rashi saying, I'm not quoting him directly. Let's keep going. Ela mishpachot b'nei Ephraim, these are the families of the children of Ephraim, lifkunehem, according to their count. Shnayim ushloshim elef, so let me get that in here. 32,000, oops, sorry. What did I just do? I don't even see it now. Okay, sorry. Let's try one more time. Shnayim, by the way, yeah. Shnayim ushloshim elef, 32,000. V'chamesh me'ot, 500. Ele b'nei Yosef v'mishpachotam, and these are the numbers of Joseph, the descendants of Joseph. So let me see. And Ephraim, there is 40,500. So interestingly enough, there is a reduction here. Make sure I have that correct. Yep, 40,500. Well, it seems to me, I think some of them wanted to go back to Egypt is what happened, and that's why they were reduced by 8,000 families. Okay. Bnei Binyamin, the Mishpachotam.
But one question,
Sure.
you said that it says these were the families of Joseph,
Right.
but does that mean they're the families of Ephraim and Manasseh? You may
Yes.
have said something about that, but I'm confused.
Okay. It's simply saying that Ephraim and Manasseh were both from Joseph. Remember, they are counted as among the 12 tribes. Jacob,
Right, so that number includes, the current number includes Ephraim and Manasseh, or just
no,
Ephraim?
this is Manasseh here, and this is Ephraim. So they total.
I'm confused because it says for Ephraim, that's 32,500.
Right, right.
And the top number is for
Ephraim.
Ephraim. Okay.
In the first census.
Oh, so it's not Joseph who necessarily was depleted. It was Ephraim, or you're just not including Joseph. It's just
okay,
they're separate.
So if I'm understanding you correct, Joseph, the explanation is Joseph had two sons, Ephraim and Manasseh. Okay.
Yeah.
Jacob, his father, says that I'm going to count Ephraim and Manasseh as two separate tribes, but they're still both descendants of Joseph.
Right.
That's why the combination of Ephraim or Manasseh and Ephraim is seen as Joseph.
Yeah.
Okay, is that answer your
question?
I
think that is, I just understand they're just separate. Okay.
So what's interesting is initially they have 72,700 originally combined, and now they have let's see, they have 85,200. Now, compared to Judah is the other very large tribe, and let's see where we have Judah. Okay, so Judah has 76,500, so they outnumber, if I'm counting this correctly, right? They actually outnumber Judah at this point.
It's combined, yeah.
It's combined, which is Joseph, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because initially combined, they have 72,700. And initially, let's take a look and see what Judah's is. He's got more, 74,600. Look at that. Yeah, it's, for some reason, I was under the impression that Judah always eclipsed Joseph, the entire, but not according to this, if I have this correctly, which is interesting. Yeah. All right, moving. Well, it's 7:58, so this might be a good place to stop. And we're going to do that right here. And I'm going to mark it. God willing, we'll finish this up possibly tomorrow. Very good. I'm going to stop the share. There we are. It's nice to see all of you. While we have a couple of minutes, any thoughts before I stop the recording? Okay, I'm going to stop the recording and this is reasonably straightforward stuff, but I hope you enjoyed it.